The Virginia Horse Industry Board, Southwest Virginia Agricultural Association, and the Virginia Christmas Tree Growers Association are proud sponsors of Virginia farming.
This program is brought to you by the Virginia Farm Bureau. Large or small, Virginia farmers work year-round to help put food on your table. And Farm Bureau works year-round to help farmers and all Virginians. Farming, it's all good. To learn more, go to vafarmbureau.org.
Brought to you by Farm Family, Life, Auto, Business, Farm. Jim Gray, farmer's son, agribusiness owner, insurance agent. Another personal story on farmfamilypeople.com. Farm Family, the people you know. Hi everybody, welcome to Virginia Farming. I'm Amy Rocher. Poultry is the largest commodity in the Commonwealth. This week, Virginia Poultry Federation President Hobey Bauhan joins us to talk about the poultry industry on Ag Insights. Then we'll talk about planting summer bulbs when we join Mark Viette in the garden. Plus, we'll have the Ag Calendar and a Minute in the Field video. All this and the Ag News of the Week on this edition of Virginia Farming. The Virginia Farm Bureau reports there were 9 deaths due to farm work-related accidents in 2013, one less than the previous year. The majority of these deaths were the result of tractor incidents. The Farm Bureau advises that while working on a farm, it's important to take a few extra minutes to make sure you are operating as safely as possible. Tractor incidents have accounted for the majority of farm deaths for the past 19 years. Now, since 1994, the Virginia Farm Bureau has documented 287 farm work-related deaths. Well, some good news for apple lovers. Cornell University and New York apple growers have developed 2 new apple varieties, the Snapdragon and the Ruby Frost. Now, the Snapdragon is related to the Honeycrisp variety, and it has a crispy texture and a spicy sweet flavor. It has a long storage and shelf life, so retailers will be able to offer it consistently. The NYAG says consumers who like Empire and Granny Smith apples may like the Ruby Frost, which provides a boost of vitamin C. Cornell started a partnership with the NYAG in 2010 to establish an exclusive licensing agreement in North America for the 2 new varieties. The first trees were planted in 2011, and Cornell and the NYAG say that by 2015, the new varieties will be available in grocery stores. Apples were ranked 15th among Virginia's top farm commodities in 2012, with $54 million in cash receipts. When it comes to raising cattle, it often seems like a debate between crossbreeding and straight breeding. But all sides of the discussion can agree on one thing: planning. In this segment, Cindy Campbell shares what a few industry experts have to say on the issue of cattle breeding systems.
While crossbreeding advocates sit on one side of the aisle and straight breeding proponents on the other, it seems there is one truth that they can all agree on.
Regardless of what technology you want to use, what breeding strategy you want to use, you need to have a plan to be successful in today's beef industry. Long gone are the days where just before turnout time you decide what kind of bull you're going to use. You need to be planning ahead how you're going to market the offspring of those cattle, how you can take advantage of different market opportunities.
Dave Nichols is a longtime champion of heterosis, but says cattlemen can't just use 2 or more breeds and expect an automatic advantage.
The secret to crossbreeding is relatively simple. Number 1, have a plan. Number 2, utilize breeds that complement each other in this plan. Have some goals.
Nichols Farms markets hybrid bulls, but he says that in itself is not a magic fix.
One thing to remember is that a composite or hybrid bull is no better than the pure lines that they came from.
Seed stock producer Mark Gardner has customers who crossbreed and customers who run straight bred herds. Those who run solely Angus often sell high-dollar replacement heifers and retain ownership of the steers through the feed yard.
You know, they talk about heterosis being free lunch. Well, prime year in and year out is worth $18 to $20 a hundredweight. That's real money. And so when you look at the replacement heifer market, when you look at the value-added market, when you look at what the consumer wants, I think you have to incorporate all those things.
It all boils down to economics.
There is no right answer. There is what works for you, and the marketplace will give you a strong signal that will tell you how you can have a chance at greater profitability.
Another bit of common ground, pleasing the consumer. Those economic signals come from those who invest in the beef eating experience.
We don't have the luxury of the beef business of selling anyone a high-priced piece of beef that it doesn't meet at least minimum standards for flavor, juiciness, and tenderness, and marbling is an important criteria in that.
I'm Cindy Campbell.
Thanks, Cindy. Well, whether it's beef or produce, one Loudoun County residential community is shortening the time it takes to get from the farm to the table. The Willowsford community spans over 4,000 acres and is made up of 4 different villages. Community members can get nearly all of their food from farms right next door through a community-supported agriculture or CSA program. Farm Director Mike Snow says he can't tell whether Willowsford Farms CSA could provide enough food for the community's potential 2,100 households, and that no one has ever quite done it on a scale this size before. The community even has a culinary director so members can learn how to turn their fresh food into fine cuisine. Well, eggs are a multi-million-dollar industry in Virginia. One Washington County farm has nearly 1 million chickens and supplies eggs to consumers in 5 states. Norm Hyde has the story.
Nestled in the mountains of southwest Virginia is a family farm unlike any other in the region. More than 50 years ago, the Wagner family started their egg business here. And now the Green Valley Poultry Farm is the largest of the 3 major egg-producing farms in Virginia. Rodney Wagner says they started with 2,000 chickens in the 1960s, and now they can house almost 1 million birds.
When we were joking, I said, the reason I stay here is I just don't know any better. But it's true, this is all I've done since I was probably 11 years old. And I hope my sons follow my footsteps.
National egg production came to 90.7 billion eggs in 2012. By contrast, Virginia produced nearly 700 million eggs in the same period. But this is still an $89 million industry in Virginia. The Wagners do their part to contribute, producing almost 300 million eggs a year. It's a role they don't take lightly.
Computers are fine, but there has to be the human aspect of, of people in the houses caring for the birds. So we have a person for each house. They have to go through a training period. Any new hire has to be schooled in how to, that we do not tolerate any abuse of the animal, and that they have to report if they see any abuse of an animal.
The Wagners raise their own replacement pullets for the hen houses and ship eggs to grocery stores in Virginia and 4 other states. Each hen house is climate controlled, the birds are vaccinated, and receive regular food and water. Wagner's won awards for his farm operation and has a clean bill of health from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. And he derives a lot of satisfaction from leading the team of 36 employees who run the farm every day of the year.
In a week's time, you can see the production record from the hens and know you've done a good job. Every 2 years when we turn flocks around, we know if we've done a good job. There's a lot of things that keeps us interested.
Virginia poultry growers have to ship in corn and other feed from other states to meet their needs. Since the Old Dominion is not a large corn-producing state, Wagner says that's why Green Valley Farms is now asking local farmers in southwest Virginia to help supply some of the grain they need.
We just feel like it'd be a good opportunity for us and the farmer, and we're just trying to get the word out that we would like to buy more grain locally.
The other 2 major egg farms in Virginia are located in the Shenandoah Valley and in Southside Virginia, so Green Valley Farm has this territory for itself. Wagner says that helps keep down the risk of animal diseases, makes it easier for him to pass the business on to his sons, the 4th generation.
We've made a living with it and provided jobs for our community. I hope they stick with it. I think that's our plans. it's been good for me. I mean, I hope that it continues on.
And it's been good for his community and Virginia's farm economy as well. In Abington, Virginia, I'm Norm Hyde.
Thanks, Norm. Those eggs are a part of the poultry industry, an industry that still ranks #1 in Virginia commodities. Hobey Bauhan, the president of the Virginia Poultry Federation, talks about the booming poultry business. That's straight ahead on Ag Insights. Poultry is one of the largest industries here in Virginia, and joining us today is president of the Virginia Poultry Federation, Hobey Bauhan. Hobey, welcome back to Virginia Farming.
Well, thanks for having me.
It's nice to have you back again. I want to start with numbers. Most of us who watch the show know that agriculture is the #1 industry in Virginia. Where does poultry come into play in that industry? How big is it?
Well, poultry and eggs are Virginia's largest economic or agricultural enterprise. There was a study in 2012 released by the U.S. Poultry and Egg Association. It was done by a New York-based economics firm that showed a total direct and indirect impact in Virginia of $8 billion, a direct impact of $3.6 billion. The industry employs 13,000 people. It supports the livelihoods of about 1,100 family farms. And indirectly contributes to an additional 28,000 jobs, primarily in businesses that provide goods and services to the industry. So it's a very significant economic factor in our agribusiness sector as well as the economy as a whole in Virginia.
Well, when I see the commodities charts, broilers or chickens are just huge. And so I'm interested to know how much more chickens do we sell than turkeys?
Well, they're two different species, two different animals. We produce about 250 million broiler chickens annually in Virginia and about 17 to 18 million turkeys in Virginia. Yet we're ranked higher in turkeys nationally. We're 5th in turkeys and we're 10th in broiler chickens.
Those are some big numbers.
They certainly are.
So where does all of this poultry go?
Well, obviously we produce more chicken and turkey than Virginians can consume, and so we're supplying to the East Coast primarily. The Northeast is a very large market for the Shenandoah Valley, but also internationally. We provide poultry, we export poultry meat to a variety of export markets.
Well, I know a couple months ago we talked about a story with a poultry processing plant in Russia. And I think that's interesting because the rest of the world is trying to kind of learn to do what we're doing. And I have a feeling they're probably using Virginia as a model to do that.
Well, they use Virginia, and the U.S. poultry industry really is the model. We're the largest producer in the world. We're the most efficient producers in the world, and we produce the most wholesome, safe supply of poultry. And so we've embraced science and technology to accomplish all of this so that we can produce a pound of poultry meat using a lot less feed than in the past. And so I do think that other countries look to the United States and our industry as something to replicate. Brazil has a large poultry industry. Russia is trying to develop a poultry industry. The European Union, but still, by and large, the United States is the largest producer and one of the largest exporters of poultry in the world.
And that's a great position to be in when you don't have to rely on somebody else to provide your food.
I think it goes to our national security to be food secure.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, the poultry industry didn't grow to where it is today without incidents, and I know it seems like there's always more hoops for you guys to jump through. There's always more regulations being put in place. And what are some of the issues that are facing the poultry industry today?
Well, my organization, the Virginia Poultry Federation, which was founded in 1925, our mission is to promote a positive business climate for the poultry industry in Virginia, and we work with the National Turkey Federation, the National Chicken Council, and the U.S. Poultry and Egg Association to promote a positive business climate nationally. So there are issues that are creating problems for our industry, such as the federal ethanol mandates and incentive programs. Since they began impacting the commodity markets for corn and other grains back in 2006, we've incurred $55 billion in additional feed costs in the poultry sector across the United States. And that has a tremendously adverse effect, because those costs you just can't pass those along. And it's artificially escalated. I think a lot of people are coming to realize that the ethanol mandates are just not good public policy, and there's a pretty big push in Washington to try and reform that. And in fact, EPA right now is proposing a reduction in the RFS for 2014, and it's important that folks weigh in on that.
Now, I know some environmental regulations are a hard thing to keep up with and hard to work around. Right. What are some of the regulations right now that you guys are working
well,
with?
We have an impact on the environment, but farmers are the original stewards of the environment. They care about doing the right things for water quality, for air quality, and so farmers look to science and educational resources such as our soil and water districts to understand the newest and best ways to minimize impacts on the environment. Poultry litter, which is manure and bedding, is an excellent organic source of fertilizer for farm fields, and it's in significant demand, and it's a benefit to our poultry producers because they can sell it to other farmers who utilize it to help improve their farmland. It's important that it's utilized in an environmentally sound manner, and there are regulations in Virginia that are fairly reasonable that ensure that. What we are concerned about are additional regulations that might be proposed. We need to keep a balance there that allows us to do what we want to do to protect the environment, which we know is important, but not at a cost that will really hurt our farmers economically.
Well, and you bring up the poultry litter, and I think a lot of our viewers who aren't necessarily farmers realize that that's a problem with the poultry industry, that they're not allowed to dispose of the litter and put it on fields the way they used to. So we've seen a lot of these news stories from various places with the big piles of the poultry litter. So I think it's really important to hear you say that there are so many things that they can do with it.
Well, I don't think you see big piles of poultry litter. Poultry litter is in significant demand. So when a poultry farmer finishes with his or her flock and it's time to clean out the poultry house, most poultry growers have sheds where you move the poultry litter into a shed where it's protected from runoff. But in many cases, it's purchased by other farmers who have to abide by regulations. They can't just put a pile of poultry litter anywhere. It has to be covered after a certain amount of time. It has to be protected. So there are a lot of measures that are in place that are really commonplace where, yes, we're not managing litter the way we did 20 years ago. We're doing it in a more sustainable, environmentally sound way. So I think as long as the regulations don't become overly burdensome, we don't have a problem here. This is a beneficial product that can be utilized in an environmentally sound manner on farmland.
And in many ways. We talked to a farmer here locally who has a poultry litter burner who is actually using it to heat his poultry houses.
Right.
So there's so much being done.
There's certainly opportunities for alternative uses for poultry litter, but some of the alternative uses, energy projects that have been proposed, have not been able to go forward because there wasn't enough poultry litter to supply them, because poultry litter is in such demand for use in its traditional manner as an organic source of fertilizer, which is essential. You've got to fertilize crops and hayland and pasture. And this is a great product for doing so as long as it's managed appropriately.
Absolutely. And I'm glad to hear you say that, things are going well in that direction, because it's hard to jump through some of those hoops sometimes when
we've
they're
seen
first put out there.
in some other states where overly burdensome restrictions on land application of litter have been proposed. And as long as Virginia keeps it science-based and economically balanced, I think we'll be in good shape.
I think you're right. And I look for the Virginia poultry industry to continue to grow because you guys are doing an amazing job.
Well, we hope to. So.
Well, thank you so much for being with us today, Hobey. We do appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me again.
We'll be right back. Keeping color in your garden throughout the summer months can be challenging, but Mark Viette says using summer bulbs is a good way to keep the colors coming. Let's go in the garden.
If we want color after our daffodils have finished blooming or our tulips have finished in a garden, you can plant what we call summer bulbs. And they can include something in the way of liliums, which have beautiful fragrance, at least the varieties I like do. You can even put in, now we call these bulbs, they're not all bulbs, but you have dahlias that you can put in the garden. Now in some cases you can put these right out in the garden, or you can fill your containers with these bulbs that will give you color all summer long. It's not hard to do. Just get a nice container. I like to use rather large containers, and I like to fill them with 5 or more different types of plants. All you have to do is take what we call a soilless mix. This is just not your garden soil, but this has maybe peat, perlite, pine bark, and other additives. It stays nice and loose throughout the summer months. So you get that material, and you partially fill your container, almost maybe 4 inches from the top, and then you can take your bulbs. Now, you might consider something like the giant elephant ears. Now remember, the bigger the bulb, the bigger the leaves. So you can put that maybe in the background of this container and set that in. Then I'm going to go ahead and put this beautiful double pink lilium with a lot of fragrance in the front. And I'm going to put, one of the dwarf short dahlias on the side. Even if you want to put gladiolas, you can put them in. But I do recommend, both for the garden and even in containers, to plant these about at least 12 inches deep, so they're a little bit shorter and they don't fall over in the garden. And then the other thing you can consider, you can put caladiums, or you can put the beautiful calla lilies. Now, many times you're going to find these plants in a plastic bag just like this, maybe filled with a little bit of organic matter, but the bigger usually is better. These are some callas that I dug from the garden, and nice, beautiful, large type bulbs. And here is one that I purchased that really is only about a quarter of the size. This is going to perform better for me. So sometimes you got to open up the box, make sure you know what you're getting before you get it. So you set these plants inside your container like this, and the next step is you're going to go ahead and cover them with your potting soil. You can also go ahead and plant these summer flowering bulbs in the garden. And if you have more of the perennial type, these are types that come back every year, like liliums, you can plant them in the garden. It's just easy. Just go ahead, plant them. But if you're dealing with some of the more tender bulbs, like I talked about a minute ago, calla lilies, or even some of your gladiolas, it is far better to plant them a little deeper in a garden, especially in the colder areas, so they don't freeze during the winter months. But you can fill your garden, your container, with these summer flowering bulbs, and you can enjoy color all summer long, all the way in some cases through till fall. I'm Mark Viette. Join me next time in the garden.
Taking a look at the ag calendar, the second annual Market Animal Boot Camp will be held February 8th at the Rockingham County Fairgrounds. This is a statewide event designed to educate youth on all aspects of market animal projects, regardless of their experience level. For more information, contact Dara Boer. Well, that does it for our show. Thanks for watching and have a great week. I'm Amy Rocher for Virginia Farming.
This program's brought to you by the Virginia Farm Bureau. From apples to zucchini, Virginia farmers work hard to put food on your table. And Farm Bureau works year-round to help farmers and all Virginians. Farming, it's all good. To learn more, go to vafarmbureau.org.
Brought to you by Farm Family. Life, auto, business, farm. Nancy Asher, stable owner, visionary, agent of change. Another personal story on farmfamilypeople.com. Farm Family, the people you know.